Just exactly. I've got to quit predicting these things. And what I mean by that is I think that Coach Richard, and I told him this before and after the game, I think he does one of the greatest jobs in our league coaching. So I want to give credit to Louisiana Monroe and the job that they did. And, of course, we struggled with them at their place. Of course, we struggle with them today. Of course, we gotten, some quick foul trouble, kind of like it's been our deal the last 3 or 4 games. But we had a lot of other guys step in there and keep things together. And I thought in the second half we played well. And it's fun to see. It's fun to watch our defensive effort. I thought we were able to apply a lot of pressure to those really good guards, LaCour and Blackman, that they had. And we slowed them up a little bit, disrupted them. And I thought particularly Neff and Denaje Harris, of course Mo, those guys out in front of that press did a good job. And it's good to see us be able to win when maybe Austin doesn't have one of his better days, and of course Felipe not being able to play that much. But I thought our guys played hard. I thought they were businesslike. I didn't think we were playing poorly in the first half. I think they played really well, and they're a good team. And, I was kind of kidding with Coach Richard, or we were kidding together before the game, and, talked about he was, of course, complimentary of our team, and naturally I was complimentary of his team. And he said that, it's funny, Jay said, the experts had in the 2 polls you 14th and us 13th, and the other one that they got smart and put y'all 13th and us 14th. So, but both of us are fighting for those double byes in the league, and every game is important. And of course, we were on such an emotional, physical, and a mental high. We were on such a high emotional high and physical high on Thursday. I was very concerned with the quick turnaround and being able to come today. But I thought our guys, we got a mature group. You got a bunch of guys that have been to the wars before. They've been involved in situations where, you play a game like that, and the next game you play poorly. But our guys didn't do that. Again, it was choppy because of some things that were beyond our control. I guess fouling is under your control. But I thought our guys continued. They kept their poise. They were poised at halftime, and again came out quickly in the second half and got a hold of it. So I was overall very proud. It's hard to win Division I games. One of our goals early last summer when we set goals was that we wanted to go undefeated at home, and now we're just one away from doing that. And our thought being, of course, if you can't, you're really not going to have a great season until you can establish winning at home. And so anyway, we'll be back next Saturday, and of course we don't have a lot of time to rest. We got to get ready for a tough South Alabama team that we struggle with here on Thursday. So anyway, hopefully we can finish out, have a great crowd next Saturday for our last home game. It'll be senior day, last time to see a few of our guys. That's going to be a little bit sad. Felipe Hasse, of course. Nico Aguirre, Tyler Mormon. It's going to be the last time we get a chance to see those fellas. So anyway, overall I was very proud of our team. Thankful for the crowd coming back today like they did. It's just been impacting our team with a great energy, and I'm very thankful for that.
Questions? Do you have an update on this Donovan Ivory status and why he was out today?
He's sick. That whatever that stuff that's going around is, and he also had dislocated his finger the other night in a game. I don't know if y'all saw the splint on it or not, and just more of a trying to get him full speed instead of he's coughing a lot and all that kind of stuff. So,
Coach, you mentioned the poise that your team plays with. This is a group that's playing together for the first time this season, but for them to have that composure, like they're playing like they've been there before, where does that come from?
I would love to sit here in front of my bosses and say, hey, I had this great program, and, we did this, and we went down to Camp Shelby and carried logs around and, stuff like that, and stayed out in the woods for each other, and we just bonded, and but that's not the case. It's been like that from day one. And what we were intentional about was bringing in good people. My boss over there expects that we have good people in our program, representatives from the university. I'm not just saying that because he's standing there. I've said that many times when he's not standing there. That's the only thing that I did. We just happen to have good guys, guys that are interested in winning, guys that are interested in being in a program where we work tirelessly at skill development, so they know they're going to get better. They know they're going to get a good education. We've graduated every single one of our players, and we're going to continue to do that. And I'm speaking now. You gave me an opportunity to give me a little recruiting plug. If you want to come to an opportunity where basketball is serious, you have great crowd support. You're going to get better every day as an individual to help you go on after basketball's over here and have an opportunity to play professionally, and you get a chance to get a great degree. We're a great spot for you.
Felipe obviously didn't play as much as you wanted him to, but the time he was in there really made a difference and scored a lot in the first half.
I thought, of course, he's a target out there. He's been a target for a long time, and I thought one of the fouls was legit, but I think after talking to a couple of officials, they maybe felt that after they came out after halftime and had discussed. So I give those guys credit too. They said, we were maybe that one was a little, the second one was a little iffy, but again, those guys are so important to us, and I didn't want to push the panic button, try to play him with three, of course, just like the other night. We start getting behind a little bit because he means so much to our team. But we were able to get to halftime. In fact, carried some momentum, had a great stop there at the end of this first half. I thought that was a great play, had a great defensive stop, and went down there and Dre was able to dunk it right there at the buzzer. And I thought that was a great, carried a lot of momentum into halftime. But, Felipe is a coach on the floor, so even we lose a lot, of course, with his offensive and defensive prowess, his ability to handle, pass the ball. But we lose so much more in terms of he's the engine out there. Everything runs through him. He's a 6'10" point guard. Now, not a point guard in the sense that he brings the ball up the floor against pressure like Neff, Mo, Nico, those guys, but in the sense that the ball, if y'all notice, it's in his hands as much as we can put it in there, and because he's going to make the right play most of the time, and he's so unselfish. He's too unselfish. There's times he's too unselfish if you can be that in basketball. In a day where the game is about me, it's not about him. He plays to win. He understands how to win.
Jay, you guys are now 16-win differential between this year and last year. The record is 19. As you guys have.
Man, we must have been bad last year, Andrew.
To be fair, the team that owns the top spot had 4 wins the year before.
Okay,
So,
all right.
But I mean, you guys are looking at history at this point, and you guys could have some change to it if things go in your favor.
Well,
I mean, can you just talk about it?
That's really, to be honest with you, we don't really talk a lot about those things. We do set some goals, 20 wins, 25 wins. We set those goals. Of course, our ultimate goal, and it's been here from day one, was to return Southern Miss basketball to a position of national respect, prominence. Our goal, win the national NCAA tournament, right? But there's a lot of things that have to happen for you to get there. And but I'm very I say I, meaning the representative of our team, incredibly blessed from the man above with our players, our staff, of course our administration, and it's just all come together. And I don't think of it, Andrew, in a lot about, this big a difference and turnaround. We've got a major goal, and our goal is to win our league. Our goal is to win that in the regular season, and we know to do that you have to win another game and another game and another game. So I don't think of it in that sense, but those things certainly will happen as a result of, I think, of us taking a one game a day, at a time approach. And I don't know if I'm really answering your question, other than we don't really think about that differential thing that much. I do think a lot, and our players do think a lot about the major goal of winning our league and trying to get to the NCAA tournament.
Cool to marvel at, though, is
it would be awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, any type of those, we were talking with our players the other night, and of course the crowd is the 5th largest I saw in history. That it can be hard to. It's hard to get more than 8,097 in here, and so that's going to be there for a while, and they can look back at that and say, man, that was that game, and so anyway, but I think those things will be the result of just working hard every day, and I know it sounds simplistic, and just let's look at the next game as the most important game on our schedule. So right now, South Alabama is the most important game we've played this year, and if we'll do that, then those milestones and accolades and maybe historical markers will all just kind of take care of themselves.
I mean, the atmosphere, you were talking about it earlier, but just you know, the players are out there interacting with the fans, and I feel like that's not something you see at a lot of, you know, a lot of programs in general. And could you coin it Ladner land, maybe, or something like that?
Well, that's not for me to say. No, I don't think we're there yet. Do that kind. You know, I said this the other night. You know, the person that's responsible for our program being big time is MK Turk. I love Coach Turk. You know, and I got the nicest message the other day from both of his daughters, Michelle and Militia, and of course they were speaking for Miss Katrina, Coach's wife, and you know that's I know Coach is looking down. I know Coach Palmer's looking down. I said that the other night. That's the person. You know, maybe we can get to one day and that we can name maybe our new arena for Coach Turk. And you know, of course, we had a great women's coach here, and I don't ever want to leave Coach James out. You know, and I know we've got streets named after him and so forth, but that'd be my thing. I'm just honored to be here, and I mean that. I'm not trying to be Mr. You know, come across as grateful, but I am grateful. But I'm telling you that's what I would wish would happen. So I appreciate you saying that, Andrew, and it, you know, makes me feel good. But I don't think you can win one year and you know, win a few ball games and establish that kind of legacy. So we gotta, you know, we want to look at this as a long term. You know, we want to be. That's what I was telling our players about 20. So if we're just going to be happy to win 20 games, then that's all we're going to ever do. Let's make not winning 20 games. Hey, what's going on? What's wrong with Southern Miss basketball? That the expectation is 20 wins, is 7 or 7,500, 8,000 plus every game. Let's make that be the standard and change our thinking a little bit. So that's what I think.
One more question for Coach. I mean, I don't know the stats on this, but pretty close to getting that double bye. Just how much would that mean?
Oh, that's huge. That's, to be honest with you, more than the differential from last year, whatever that may have been. That's really one of our ultimate goals. And even if we know that if we could somehow win the league, we know that's automatic. But I know we're getting close by stacking these games, and that's the real thing, because of course you get a double bye. You know, it's hard to win 5 or 6 games in a row in a tournament. So and of course we know it's going to be really tough. But that's absolutely one of the most important goals that we've had, is to finish in the top 4. Of course we'd love to win it, you know, and. But yeah, great point, Charlie. I want to thank y'all, especially some of you that have been here and were here last year and were fair to us. I want to thank y'all, and I've personally thanked like Andrew and some. And I don't mean cutting me any slack or whatever, but I'm telling you, and she knows, I'm very grateful for that. And some of you just hung in there with us, and you said. You were critical to a point when it should have been criticized, and you've been here with us on the other way, and I'm thankful for that. So I appreciate y'all doing your job and being professional and balanced is the really word I'm looking for. So I appreciate that. Okay, thank y'all.